Hi everyone, hope you're having a good Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, which I'm sure you're looking forward to because Friday is usually when we are creating all of our invoices and sending them out to our clients. So today I wanted to make a quick video to review and also show you how to use one of my favorite invoicing apps. It's called Wave Invoicing by Wave HQ. Once you download the app and open it, there's a link on the bottom that will allow you to sign up for an account. So you can either sign up with your Google accounts that are linked on your phone, or you can add it in. So for this example, I'm just going to create a dummy business that we can use to see how it works and to also show you how to use it. You will only have to do this once when you're setting up your account, and it's pretty quick and basic. Let's say the type of the business, it's a contractor business, and the business country is going to be United States. Wave Apps does offer you different currencies that you can work in, so that's a definitely useful thing to have. You'll probably want to customize your invoices. Here it offers you different styles. I personally like this one with the header. You can add your logo, and you can also change the color of the header. Once your setup has been completed, then you can go ahead and start creating invoices. You will want to add your customers. You can even import them, which is definitely very useful and saves you a lot of time. The only thing that Wave Apps requires you to fill in is the customer name. The rest of this information you can add, and if you're a detailed person or if you have specific instructions, you will definitely want to fill this in. The reason why email is not required is because once you're done completing the invoice and you're ready to send it, you can actually share it with a text message. You can share it with the different messaging apps such as Hangouts, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever you have set up on your phone. So an email is not explicitly required for this. You can also always print them out and mail them if you decide to do that. For this example, I'm just going to show you how to use it. For the contact name, you can include the name of the person that you're working with, but ideally you will want to get the information for the person that processes payments. So it will be somebody in the accounts payable department. You can also add their phone, fax, or cell phone number. Let's add an item. Here you can include a service, or you can include an inventory item, whatever sphere you're working in. So you will include a general name that's going to be kind of covered in one major category, and then in the description you can add more details such as the month that you perform the services for. So let's say this was second week of August that you are now creating an invoice for. You can add the year too. So let's say it was a one-time service and you were billing $15 for it. Here's where you will add a tax rate, if there is one at your location. And you can also change which account it's going to go to. So for this one, I will probably want to use job income. I'm going to add this item. And then let's say we're also going to bill them back for supplies that we use for the cleaning. And here you can list what you use. Let's say you used glass spray. Okay, so what are the options as far as receiving payment? You can accept credit cards, and these are the rates that Wave Apps charges. So it's 2.9% to process credit cards plus 30 cents per transaction, and you have 2 days until you receive the money after they pay you. You can also accept an ACH transfer where they enter their bank information, and the fee for that is a lot less. It's 1%, but it takes a little bit longer to get the payment, obviously. One thing to keep in mind is Wave Apps also does have instant payouts, and they charge an additional 1% from what you receive after the credit card or the bank charges have been taken out to receive the money within about 15 minutes to your account. So you will have to link the bank account to do that. In the notes or in the footer, you can add your other payment methods. For example, if you're using Wave Apps just for the sake of creating invoices, but you want to be paid with PayPal, you can add your PayPal link in the notes or in the footer. I also like to include a quick message that thanks them for their business, or if there was something special that you want to point out, this is where you will include it. So then once you're done, you have a few options. On the top right corner, you can just save it. On the bottom, it lets you to send it or save and send it. So those are the two options that you have. You can also mark the invoice as sent if you're not using Wave Apps to do the work, but you already kind of took a screenshot maybe of it and forwarded it to the client, whatever the case may be. So Wave Apps doesn't know that you sent it, but you want to keep track of the date. Let's say I want to save and send it. It gives you this quick email where you can actually even select the email that you're using to send the invoice. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the email address that you're using to log in, so you can add those in. Then you can add multiple emails to where it's going, so it's not just the one email that you included originally. Let's say you also include an AP. And then you can change the header. And you can also change the text. Then we can go ahead and send the email. Alright, so now a few options up here. You will see which invoices have been unpaid. All will include the invoices that are already paid. And there's also a draft field. In the customers option, you can look up your customers, and then you also have your items. And if you click on them, this is where you can add additional information. Let's say this customer specifically, you're going to bill them in pounds. So you can search for that. And this will also keep track of any conversion rates, things like that for you that you can adjust at the end, but it will keep track of it on its own until you adjust it. Alright, what other options does it have? Remember that initial setup with a customization? If you go to more, you can change it from there. You can add your company logo later. You will want to add your address. Most of the time, you will want to add your mailing address, because if they are going to try to get back in touch with you, you want it to go to somewhere where you're going to have access to it. Then you will want to add your contact information, such as a phone number, and your website. If you have a separate link for where they can go to process the payment, let's say the domain is starfishcleaning.com, but then you also have a page where they can go directly for payments. So you can add it all, and all of that is going to show in your header. And then here's where you can customize it further. Let's say most of the billings that you're doing are for services. So we want to change that to say services. And then here you can customize whether you want the invoice to show both the name of what you're billing them for and the description, or you want to show either or. And then you can also hide certain amounts. So you can hide the price, you can hide the amount, you can hide the unit. And I'll show you, let's say we're going to hide the amount. Then if we go to style, this column all the way on the right that says amount will disappear from it. So if we go back and create a new invoice, and let's say our quantity is 3 this time. Gonna mark it as sent. I'm gonna preview it. Now you can see how the only thing it's showing is the price, and the amount column is completely gone. So what would happen is if you had the amount column and if there was more than one line of service billings, it would total up the amounts in that last column. But this one, the customization that we did, takes it out. And again, you can customize just this specific invoice. Let's say I want to show the amount again. It's going to update it, and now you see the amount column again. It's come back. So that's another way you can edit it directly from the invoice. Here's where you would change the invoice defaults. Let's say all of your customers are starting out with not 30 days, so you will change that. You will probably want to leave the title as invoice here, unless you are creating estimates. So what you could do is type over this, and then once you go back and create something, mark it as sent, and then we preview it. And now you have something that says estimate in the header, which is very useful. So if your customers ask you for that, this is where you will go. So you will also want to adjust your information that way. For payments, here's where you can set up your main payments, and then you don't have to do it for every single invoice separately. For security, you can also add your fingerprint scan when you log in. You can switch a business if you have more than one business linked under your Wave username. And you can also keep your personal bookkeeping under the same login, but it's just going to be a different account. And that's pretty much it.